Okay, hello everyone. I know I've already done a video on a universal range extractor fan before, but I just thought I'd share the 6-inch model because I think it's such a lovely compact version of the universal range that everyone seems to now be spawning and getting on the internet. This one, where did this come from? This came from eBay. The wonderful delights of eBay. It came to me a good couple of months ago. Apparently it was in a bakery. It must have had some white walls because I've obviously painted it at some point. What I want to do with this is get it installed somewhere in the house. I've already got one in the bathroom, a fan that is, not the universal, and one in the kitchen which you've seen on the Expolair, but I'd love to put this somewhere. Hopefully when I get my loft done out, that should be where it ends up. And you'll see that it's got the power cable connected to the Rangemaster controller. Now there was two versions of this Rangemaster controller. You got the 6 and the 7, and the 6 and the 7.5, and the 9 and the 12-inch version of this. And basically, it was just the difference in the transformer that basically it could take the wattage of the fan. This only draws. I can't remember how much it draws, but it doesn't draw over a certain amount of amps. I don't think it says it on the front. No, it doesn't. It just says 6. There you can see Vent-Axia. Basically, the larger controllers could handle the larger fans. These were made 70s, 80s, these Rangemaster controllers, superseded by the new crappy plastic ones that don't have as much character and don't look as nice. This is one of my earliest memories of Extractor fans, is seeing this controller, and seeing this controller in its this state, and the one before this, which was the ivory model, and the black model, which controlled the black fans that they had as well. And I always remember seeing always start on boost, and never knowing why it said always start on boost. And I know another gentleman, I can't remember the name, has uploaded some universal videos, and basically the problem being that when you go from extract to intake very quickly, you're swapping the polarity on the motor, and these controllers were prone. Obviously the fan's spinning one way, so the magnets, the fan motor is spinning one way. If you then tell it to go on the other direction, very, very fast, obviously it's changing the poles in the motor, which then obviously the magnet, let me get my science right, the magnet doesn't like that basically, and it swaps over very quickly. Obviously it slows down and speeds up the other way. You'll notice on the new controllers it's got a gap, the middle where you've got the on and off, you've got the speed at the bottom, and in the middle you've got extract, intake, but in the middle you've got this shutter open, fan off scenario. And it's used for the Vent-Axia T-series range, where obviously the electromagnetic shutters you can have open, so it's a vent as well. These you couldn't have open unless you physically pull the shutters apart, which isn't recommended. And so basically that gave the motor enough chance to slow down before you switched it in a different direction, whereas these models literally just swap the polarity of the motor. Hence why you need a 4-core cable, live 1, live 2, earth and neutral. You're swapping the polarity of the motors. So that was why, when they said, the other reason was when they said always start on boost, is because the fan was a capacitor start and run. The capacitor, if you went straight to low, didn't have enough juice sometimes to kick the fan in. If there was any adverse winds outside, the vanes would get, the propeller's going the other way, and you wanted it obviously to go the opposite direction, which the wind was blowing. It didn't have enough juice to kick that motor in and start it up. So that's why they said always start on boost, because it draws slightly more voltage than you basically, if you plug this fan in to the wall without these controllers, it would only run on normal speed. The boost speed boosts up the voltage just a little bit past what you would get out of the socket, and therefore enough power to ramp up the capacitor when it starts. So anyway, enough babble, because I'm bogging people down with the technology of these things. This is just, as I say, my first earliest memory of seeing these controllers, and in our science block in school they had about 6 of these. 2 were broken, and I wondered why, and they were connected to standard range fans, so I assume at some point they were universal and the units got taken out, which is a shame. But if anyone ever throws away a universal range fan, don't get in contact with me on my email. And I'm sure there's other people that will say the same. So anyway, this is the 6-inch universal. It's the smallest of the range. that the Vent-Axia made, the universal range. Again, the window model, the circular window model. You can get the wall model for this, 6, 7.5, 9 and 12 inch, which I've already shown you the video of. So here's it's in operation on Extract at the moment. So again, lovely little fan. It doesn't half suck some air, as you can hear. Just trying to balance on the knee. There we go. Now on low. On low speed. And normal. I love that shutter movement. I don't know what it is about that shutter. The fact that the shutter can do that. Now this is where I get lost again. The dynamo, the spinning armature inside, when it spins up, it makes a electromagnet contact, if I remember rightly. Oh, someone will correct me, I'm sure. And as it spins up, the magnet poles pull apart, pushing plastic lugs which open the shutters. So that's another bit of the technology behind them. Again, somebody might fill in the gaps for me there. Intake. This is going to be quite breezy. Again, these fans weren't designed for intake, and it's quite rare that a 6-inch fan actually has intake facilities. The Expolair versions, the GXC6 that I've got in my wall in the kitchen, doesn't have that. And the smaller motors used to not be able to take the fact that the motors spun the other way. They were only single speed, single direction motors. But Vent-Axia Universal, it had it all. Normal intake. I'll show you the back of this. You can see it stopping. So this one needed a bit of oil. It was seized up when I got it. Someone obviously thought they could get some more money out of me at eBay. But yeah, just a drop of WD-40, drop of oil in the motor, and everything's running smoothly. So I hope to have this installed somewhere in my room or somewhere in my house at some point soon. But again, thanks for viewing, and I'll show you my other videos when I get round to raiding my mum's loft for them. Alright guys, see you soon. Thank you.